Hello, Brad. How you doing?
Doing very well. So, Ant, just for everyone on the call, can you give them a 30-second summary of the business and then we'll get into the coaching segment?
Yeah, so I'm in the process of setting up a personal development company called Be the Limitless You.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the very early stages, and I've just written a book that's going to be available on Amazon shortly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that is my first product. That's where I am with it at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's why you get to go first today, because you're right at the start of business. We're talking about how to start and get your business going into what it needs to be done. So tell everyone what your challenges are and where you want the coaching on today.
So my challenge today is I've got a launch campaign for my book, but I'm thinking I don't have a long-term marketing strategy for the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like some advice and guidance on that, if that's possible.
Okay, so let me just remind you of one thing when you're setting up a business. A product is not a business. A product series is a business. Majority of times when you're building a business, you're looking at a product series that people can move through. And the best model of a business is to make sure that you have a business that, in essence, is a subscription-based business, a membership-based business. That is, and if you look at today's world, we're seeing more and more subscription-based businesses. There is a book simply called Subscribe, and another one called, she was on my podcast, Baxter, The Membership Economy. So looking at it, Ant, from a perspective of, instead of saying, what is the book and how do I sell the book? Because let me ask you a very blunt question. What's your margin on the book? It's going to be
Yeah,
$10 or 10 quid at most, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not
So
big.
think of books, like I've written 18 books. I think of my books as more of a brochure for what comes next. Now, the books are very valuable. I mean, if I even go to the number one best-selling business finance book of all time, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that book, when I interviewed Sharon, you'll see her interview on my YouTube channel. If any of you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, make sure you do that. But Sharon actually wrote that book as a brochure for the board game they call Cash Flow. So Robert invented the board game, came to Sharon's husband, who's a patent attorney, and Michael looked at it and said, "Oh, well, okay." And he did patent the game, but in the end, it came back to, okay, what is going to sell the game? By the way, gang, if you're new to us here today, type in the chat window where you're at. And also, please put those cameras on so we can see your smiling faces, because when I ask questions, we get to do raise hand in this room. And if you haven't already, hit that mute button. So, and what are you going to sell beyond the book? I'll get back to the book in a moment, but what are you going to sell beyond the book?
Well, following your training, Brad, I'm very conscious of the fact of doing the work once, getting paid long term.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to create an online course, which is kind of like your 30x business and things like that.
Great.
That will be one of the products. And then
Mm-hmm.
also after that, a one-to-one coaching
Okay.
program.
And I want you to think about your business as a restaurant, right? Why do steakhouses make so much money? Because they sell the red wine. Okay. Why will your business make money? I would leap past in the initial stages. Yes, eventually I would go back and build those more leveraged programs. But in the initial stages, you're going to create videos, books, ebooks, knowledge-based work to get people to do one thing, and that is book a call. One of my latest podcasts is a guy by the name of Marlon. If you listen to Marlon, he teaches all about content marketing, Facebook marketing, using video for content. He runs an agency called Voyager Agency in Australia. And he teaches it very clearly. You've got to get a high-end program first. Get a high-end product. What is your $2,000 a month or $5,000 a month? And one of my coaches, Brianne, the other day at ActionCOACH, she was coaching one of the brand new coaches and said to him, listen, stop trying to get $200 a month clients. Go and get yourself a $13,000 a month client or a $20,000 a month client, and then life is good. So when you start building your business, Ant, start with the top end programs first. Start with that expensive stuff first. See, when I build a business, so for example, one of my companies is called Engage and Grow, okay? And Engage and Grow, it's engageandgrow.com if any of you want to look it up. It's a business coaching, but it's very specific to middle to large corporations doing just employee engagement programs. Now, our employee engagement programs start at around $12,000 and go up from there to, $120,000. And so you sit and look at it. It doesn't take a genius to work out that if you take on one client, the world is good for your business. Trying to build a business with $2 burgers is very difficult. Trying to build a business with $1 million franchise rights is very easy. And so a lot of the time when I'm working with people who are new into business, looking at their product range, or their service range, often they're trying to do too much small stuff in the beginning, trying to get too many small clients rather than going for 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 big clients in the beginning. So if I was to say to you, Ant, if you're looking at what you're doing, who are your big clients? Who are the big ones? I would say school systems would be your big clients. So, you think about it, Ant, if you go and give a speech at a school and they buy 200 books, that's a different game to selling one book at a time.
Yeah.
If you go and do a speech at a Boy Scouts or a Girl Guides or a young entrepreneurs session or something like that, and you can see, so there your speaking fees is 20 grand, a book is 20 quid. Always aim for the big ticket items in business. Always try and be the top end of the thing. And remember this, though, and this is why you use content marketing, the 80-20 rule. 80% of people will consume your free stuff. 20% that consume your free stuff will buy will buy things. Does that make sense? Out of the 20% that buy things, 20% of those will buy the next level of thing. Out of those, 20% of those will buy the next level of thing. And so and out of that, 20% of that 20% will buy any dang thing you offer at whatever price it is offered at. So that's why your funnel works with the 80-20. It's like, I got to put in X number of people to get Y number to get to, and so on and so forth. So you start looking at that consumption of your material. And that's why for me, a lot of, and even doing this here today with you, Ant, you guys know, well, there's many of you who've been with me every month. I do this every month. Why? Because then there's 4 different coaching sessions. We cut them up. We use them for social media. We use them on YouTube. And hey, presto, we end up with more people consuming more Bradsugars stuff. They then get on our newsletter. Then they get on our ebooks. And because, we do those things for free on either actioncoach.com or bradsugars.com. And then we build a know, like, and trust factor, and 80% goes to 20%, goes to 20%, goes to. But ultimately, Ant, I look at it, my high end for me is a master franchise. So our master franchise for Engage and Grow for, let's say, the United Kingdom is a £600,000 investment for someone. So I'm not trying to build a book and sell a book. Now, I've got 5 minutes left, so I'm going to come back to selling the book, okay? So how much are you selling the book for as first question?
So it'll be $11.99.
And are you mostly trying to sell it yourself, or are you mostly trying to sell it through bookstores?
Yeah, it's going to be on Amazon.
Okay, so you're mostly selling it yourself. Amazon will not do promotion for you unless you pay them to do a book promotion with it, okay? So really, Amazon is just your store. You've got to drive all the traffic to your store, okay? Yeah. So if you look at where are you thinking you will currently drive traffic to your store from? What's your current thinking?
Well, I'm thinking like from YouTube. I've set up a YouTube channel, and I did like a personal development show, which is like free content, just studying personal development ideas, trying to build.
Okay, and how's that going for you right now?
Yeah, it's not. It's a very early channel, so I've not got many subscribers.
So start with this, okay? Start mastering YouTube Shorts before you get into YouTube Longs, okay? When YouTube added Shorts, it added your target audience, because your target audience is mostly young target audience. Or are you thinking that parents will buy the books for their kids? Where are you thinking?
I'm thinking sort of parents more.
Parents buying for their kids, millennials, Gen X, where are you thinking?
Yeah, just parent, like people in their sort of late 30s upwards, basically.
Okay, I would be pushing your book the other way. I would be pushing because you will get far more viral content. If you're going for viral content is rare in the older age groups. Okay, as you get older, like I was chatting with a group the other day that do things for seniors. Most of their marketing work is not running shorts on YouTube. Like their stuff is mailers and telephone, because old people still answer the phone. Young people are the ones that are going to go on that YouTube and watch the viral stuff. So if you want to push yourself there, then remember to make sure that that's what you're doing. Now, when it comes to viral videos, study viral. But in essence, there's two or three things you got to do to hit viral on those videos. Number one, you've got to have some form of collaboration going on. Like that's why I do podcasts and I interview people, so the collaborators help with pushing that forward. If you look at one of our podcasts is called the Business Excellence Podcast. James Vincent is the host, okay, based in the UK. If you look at the shorts that are going viral there, the shorts that go viral, three things happen. Number one, they speak with someone famous. And you could do that, Ant. You could easily speak with someone famous, start a podcast and start doing that. Number two, they have that famous person mention another famous person. So the thumbnail, and this is, YouTube is such a statistics-driven thing. All marketing today is really statistics-driven. If you look at everything from HubSpot to SEMrush to YouTube TubeBuddy or vidIQ, all of these are telling you the data around what's happening with your YouTube. Now, YouTube takes work. Podcasts take work. It took us at least 50 podcast episodes before we started to take off. It wasn't podcasts happen in a week. It's 50 of them. And now we've got another consultant taking us through even more about making our podcasts get better. Okay, so Ed, I want you to think of, if you're going to be selling books, then you need to be pushing people to Amazon. Amazon will not sell for you. It's not like they're going to say, hey, everyone go and buy Ant's book. It's a new book on here. Amazon gets, I don't know, tens of thousands of new books a month uploaded. So you've got to push that traffic. But yeah, build the high end, use the low end to do it. Here's one other thing I would think of, Ant, right? How many ways can you give away the book that makes you money on the second sale? How many places can you give the book to someone, a school teacher, an influencer of some sort that moves you to that next phase? Brilliant. Thanks for being here, buddy. Thank you for being up.